Where does your boy Trevor Lawrence play?
Clemson.
Silent P.
Clemson.
It's the only word.
Clemson.
Language got a silent P.
Clemson.
I think you can only say that
It's
if
not
you're,
really
if you're
silent.
born in South Carolina.
It's not really silent though, because you say it. It's got to be silent.
It's an invisible P.
Invisible. Yeah, there you go. Invisible P. Recon Podcast, episode 7. Siete, ¿verdad?
Yes, sir.
All right, episode 7. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero in the house. Now, we were going to talk NFL first here. We got, of course, our high school and then college football. We'll wrap things up on this episode. And we're having a little debate right before we started whether or not we should talk about the scores from Sunday because it is kind of old. I wanted to talk about Dak versus Deshaun because I wanted to know who's better. Who would you rather have if you were to start a team? But Zach thought that it would probably require us to talk about the Sunday games.
It would behoove you to mention the scores.
Okay.
Of this past week's
Man,
games.
who don't know the scores by now? Where you been if you don't know the scores?
But you're not just randomly talking about Dak or Deshaun. You're talking about them. All the Dak hype is because he cut up the Giants.
Yeah,
all
but
the
it's the
Deshaun
Giants.
hype is because he had some great throws against.
Yeah, but it was
Saints.
the Giants.
Right.
There was no. I mean, I don't know.
I'm saying
Dak or Deshaun?
Deshaun,
Zach.
easy. Because Deshaun went to the only school with the invisible P. Clemson University.
Clemson.
Oh, here we go.
Clemson.
You can only say that if you're from South Carolina.
I kind of like that. I never really thought about that, but yeah.
You do it without even thinking of
Where'd you get that from?
I made it up.
Nah, you didn't.
I didn't make it up.
Who's your source, Zach?
I can't reveal my sources.
All right. So, anyways, Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott, and I think all three of us agree on that. Paul?
The only thing I don't like about Deshaun is that he easily gets hurt. He got hurt on Sunday, and so
But he played the game.
he
But the
finished the game.
the only reason Dak doesn't get hurt is because he doesn't do the stuff that Deshaun does.
Right. Well, I think he's also he has more mass for his body frame, and Deshaun's a little bit leaner, athletic type. But don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson's a dog, and the dude is a born winner. It's just innate in him.
But
Dak, I don't think so.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think Deshaun, he wanted to get that touchdown, and so I guess if
Dak couldn't do that.
If Dak had the opportunity, maybe he would try to do that. Jump from the 5-yard line to get in the end zone.
Dak is fat. He would get to about the 1.5. Dak would skin his knee on the 2.
So none of us would take Dak over Deshaun because I'm a big Cowboys fan. Are y'all Cowboys fans?
I root for Dallas first.
Okay.
Yeah, I root for
Zach?
Houston second.
Nah, I'm not.
No. Oh yeah, I forgot. Zach's a millennial. He don't have any favorite teams. He just likes,
do.
What's your favorite team? Then?
I've been a Packers fan my whole life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How is this
Where were you born?
How is this stuff coming out now?
I don't know. You never asked.
God, then we need to have a get to know Zach Lucero episode.
We know now.
Maybe episode 9.
Yeah, 20 questions with Zach ain't whack.
I like it. All right, so Deshaun over Dak. It seems like there's no question about that right now. Just because, is it the arm? Is it the playmaking ability? Is it?
Do you think so?
Anything,
As a Cowboys fan,
right?
Would you take Deshaun over Dak right now?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think
Yes.
Dallas has a better offensive line to protect Deshaun Watson. He wouldn't have to be as athletic as he is now. And if Deshaun had the defense that Dallas had on Sunday, they would have beat the Saints.
So I wouldn't call it necessarily lack of faith in Dak, but the stuff you're saying about Dak, you think there's something better to come. So do you think they should pay him?
No, I don't.
Yeah, if you're going to pay Dak, my number has been $28 million, but that's not going to happen in today's market. But if you're going to pay him $28 million, no more. That's not going to happen.
Right, and you pay him because he can get the job done. He can manage the game. He can hand it off to Zeke. He can get the ball downfield to Amari. If necessary, he can get the ball to Gallup. As long as the defenses aren't too good, because that Giants defense that he faced on Sunday was terrible. Let's be honest.
Very much so.
And, they're going to play the Washington Redskins this weekend. I'm not sure that defense is any better. So I think the Dak hype and the Cowboys hype continues this Sunday. What do you guys think?
They got Landon Collins. Landon Collins not going to let Dak do what he was doing against the Giants.
Then who's Landon going to stop? Is he going to stop Amari? Is he going to stop Cobb? Is he going to stop Watt?
But it's not like it's not. I mean, being a safety is not necessarily like that.
Right.
Like,
So my point is that he's going to have to cover the whole field, and eventually somebody's going to get open with the city.
but like the progression in Dak has been like the end of the season last year, and then this game against the Giants, he's throwing the ball a lot further. Like he's airing it out more downfield. Mm-hmm. You're not going to do that with a safety like Landon Collins.
Okay, so if he doesn't throw the ball,
he can dig in
downfield,
Dak, but
right.
he's not going to air it out.
Right, and I agree with that 100%. But at the end of the day, it's about the W's, and I just think if Deshaun Watson had the same resources that Dak does, it would be a far different story. So, like, basically, if you put Deshaun on the Cowboys,
he'd be Deshaun Brady.
It would be it would be what Dabo said that Deshaun Watson was the Michael Jordan of football.
Okay,
if he was there, if he had those resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, obviously, Deshaun's got the better receiving core. To me, well, I don't know about the receiving core. He's got a better receiver.
He's got a better receiver.
Fuller,
yes.
I would take Hopkins over Amari. I would probably take Fuller over Gallup if Fuller could stay healthy.
Agreed.
Kenny Stills probably over.
I would take
whoever the third.
I would take Hopkins over Amari. I would take Stills over Cobb, and I would take Fuller over Gallup for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, Fuller's hair got so long. Did y'all see that?
Is that why he slowed down a little
His
bit?
dreads are like the size of my arm. His dreads are giant. He had like the little short dreads.
Is that why he couldn't get open on Sunday?
Yeah, they're weighing him down. And the only time he did catch the ball is because his dreads got in the defender's face, all up under his visor.
And so that's where it kind of like makes my point is and this goes back to the offensive line, and Larry Tunsil just like failed royally on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But if Deshaun had the line that Dak has, and he had the running back like Dak has, I mean,
honestly, there's not many quarterbacks.
He would perform better if you just basically replace the quarterbacks.
There's not many quarterbacks in the league that wouldn't make the Cowboys better than Dak, honestly.
All right.
That's fair.
Jacksonville at Houston on Sunday. Both teams are 0-1. Of course, Jacksonville loses Austin native Nick Foles to another injury.
As soon as I saw him walking into the locker room, I knew it was a collarbone.
I think he's going to come back week 11, maybe, they said.
Well, he's on IR, so
he's done.
Yeah.
Until week 9, he's not going to be there.
He's back to the backup role for good.
They got Minshew to start against Houston Texans. He didn't do too bad. I mean, he wasn't Nick Foles. He wasn't like a, oh my gosh, look at this guy, this new guy. But I fully expect the Houston Texans to take care of Jacksonville on Sunday.
Yeah, the Houston's got like a bone to pick too after that loss, so they're gonna come back heavy. And then who do the Cowboys play? The Cowboys are early on Fox. Yeah,
baby, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins. It's a rivalry.
I don't know. Keenum played well on Sunday, so if Dallas comes in correct, they'll handle business. But if they come in aloof, who knows?
That's a dub for all the Texas area teams that matter. Houston dub, Dallas dub, Longhorns dub.
I'm not so quick on that Houston
UIW
win.
dub.
Just to be honest,
really,
I'm just not so keen on it because of Minshew. We really don't have a lot of tape on him, and that's what happens with NFL quarterbacks. If there's just not enough tape, I'm just saying you can be surprised.
So you're not going Houston by 9, like Vegas says?
Now, if you're going to give me points, are you saying 9 to cover? Houston's got to cover 9?
Yeah.
No, I'm not taking that. What? I'm not taking them to cover 9 points.
Because of Minshew?
Because of Jacksonville's defense with Jack and Jalen Ramsey in the defense.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now that you put it that way, all right, I'll take that. I'll believe you on that. But
I'm sorry, Calais Campbell on D-line? Just saying.
At first, you kind of made it sound like you weren't taking it because of Minshew. I was like, nah. That's
Gardner Minshew. He got two names.
He got two last names.
I just call him Minshew because I don't even know his first name. Is that his first name?
Gardner Minshew. No, his last name is Gardner Minshew.
No, his first name is Gardner. His last name is Minshew.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, millennial. Come on.
Are y'all sure?
Yes.
Man. Recon Podcast, Episode 7, Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. We were just talking about Deshaun Watson being better than Dak. We all agree. I'll definitely take Deshaun over Dak. Gardner Minshew, leading the Jacksonville Jaguars now. Houston Texans, 9-point favorites. Paul doesn't like that, like those odds. He would probably take Jacksonville to cover, which is kind of weird. I'd probably take Houston to cover. We might make that our next bet. You guys still owe me pluckers, so we'll figure that one out later. Dallas and Washington, you got those numbers there, Zach? It's in Washington. Redskins had a lead last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, we saw what the Cowboys did to the Giants, beat up on Eli Manning and crew.
Dallas by 5?
Yeah.
On the road?
Mm-hmm. I'll take that.
Yeah, I can't.
Y'all just hyping that.
I can't.
Giants win.
I take Dallas to cover.
I can't take you serious with your hair like that. So no way.
This is the office look.
All right, so what do we got here? So
you look like you've been driving with the top down.
So I like Dallas to cover as well. So Dallas to cover for Zach. I mean for Paul and I, -5. Zach doesn't like that. He thinks the Redskins. You think the Redskins could win that game?
Keep it close.
Keep it close. Okay. Jacksonville gets 9 points on the road. I think Houston could cover that.
Yeah.
No.
Houston's covered and Dallas is not.
All right. Real quickly, any other games on this NFL slate that you guys looking forward to?
Green Bay, Minnesota. I mean, Green Bay's defense looks so good. The offense looks so terrible. Minnesota's defense looked incredible. So I think it'll be hopefully they iron out all the kinks in Green Bay with Matt LaFleur's offense and can put up some points at home. Rivalry game. Green Bay by 3. I think they cover that.
All right. Paul?
I'm looking forward to Cleveland to bounce back on Monday night. All the bright lights will be on them. We'll see what happens.
Who are they playing? New York Jets?
Jets.
It's interesting.
Jets at home. I don't know, man.
Bright lights. Where's Alicia Keys with New York?
What's the numbers on that, Zach?
Cleveland by 2. That line probably moves so much.
Dude, that is.
I bet you it moves 1 point or half a point between now and Monday.
Do you think it even might go to
I think it might go -3.
Oh, really?
I think so.
So you think all the money's going
I
on
think it'll go
Cleveland?
It depends on how people start betting closer to the games, especially like Saturday after.
So if it goes to 3, that means people put money on Cleveland.
Yep.
And you think people put money on Cleveland?
Yep.
Man, really?
Yeah, man. That's the way I'm seeing it.
I think it depends how the Sooners do on Saturday. If they win,
Why is that?
if they win, they'll be pulling for Baker and put some more money on the Browns.
You think they'll just be hung over and just put all their money on the Browns Sunday morning?
Yeah,
So they'll get their paychecks on Sunday if they win.
right.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Taco Shack scoreboard I'm looking at here for courtesy of FanStan ATX. Shout out to Snoop Daniel. He's over there in the room taking a break. It was Mixtape Tuesday yesterday, so he was hard at work, and got to give him a shout out for all the mixtape work that he's been doing. Yep. All right, Rouse versus Weiss tomorrow night. Fredericksburg, Cedar Creek, and Lanier versus Eastside Memorial. There's only 3 games on this Thursday night slate. Rouse and Weiss is going to be on KBVO. So I'm assuming that's the game that we're going to be checking out. Although the Fredericksburg Battling Billies against Cedar Creek could be pretty interesting there, Paul.
Yeah, they're coming in at what is Fredericksburg? We don't really have their wins and losses at this time, but Cedar Creek and Alfred Collins, that guy, I just want to see how he's going to play again. Just a man amongst boys right now every time he gets out in the field. But Cedar Creek looked great last week, 2-0. Let's see if they can keep up the area Bastrop win streak to 3-0.
Yeah, I think they will. I think Cedar Creek might go 3-0. Navarro, which is formerly Lanier, and Eastside Memorial playing Thursday night. Rouse and Weiss, like I said, will be on KBVO. Rouse is sitting at 0-2, probably one of the better 0-2 teams in the area. Weiss at 1-1, had that heartbreaker last week. How do we expect this game to go? Zach, do you have any idea?
Yeah, I mean, Rouse is just not looking good. I mean, they're in a tough spot. I think Weiss has more momentum. I think going forward, that it's a program on the rise. I think a win over Rouse would be huge for that program. So that's the way I'm seeing it.
Paul?
Yeah, I follow what Zach's saying. I mean, they lost a close heartbreaker last week to Canyon Lake. I believe Canyon Lake is a division below them, have a classification below them, but a big win, first week one over Leander, and then a heartbreaker last week. I think they get the W depending on how Rouse comes out. If they come out flat and Weiss is coming with that aggression, not to Weiss.
All right, week 3, LBJ versus Waco La Vega will start us off here on Friday night. LBJ sitting at 2-0, took that long trip down to Los Fresnos last week, and it was kind of like almost like a little, I don't want to say vacation because they did have a football game to play, but they looked like they had a good time. They did pull out the win. It was a close one. It was 14-6, I believe, was the final score. But defense really showed up for the Jaguars. Taking on La Vega. Jaguars, I don't know much about La Vega this year. I don't expect them to win that game. Big game. Vandegrift, Cedar Ridge, Zach Lucero, sideline reporter for the Vandegrift Vipers. How do you see this one playing out?
You asked me this last week. I will tell you it's going to be a close game. I'm
Close
nervous.
game?
I'm nervous.
You
all
nervous?
this stuff.
Really? Even
after what Cedar Park did to them, I don't think it's looking good for Cedar Ridge.
Okay, so you're expecting to see, so we're playing like that game of, okay, so this person, what are you playing? I don't know what the word for it is. I can't remember right now, but Vandegrift shuts out Cedar Park, and then Cedar Park beats Cedar Ridge, but you still expect Cedar Ridge to give Vandegrift a good game.
No, I'm saying before the Cedar Ridge Cedar Park game, I would have expected that. But after what Cedar Park did, if they can't crack Cedar Park's defense, there's no way they're cracking Coach Sanders' defense. It seems to me like this is the case of Cedar Ridge, like it is a lot of years. They have a star player in Deuce Vaughn, who's one of the best runners in the area. If you can find a way to kind of eliminate him from the game, or at least kind of stop the bleeding a little bit when it comes to him, I think you'll have a very good success rate against Cedar Ridge. And Vandegrift is so well coached; they're very, very good at doing that. Last year they gave Coach Reeves in that offense over there at Cedar Ridge a lot of fits. So I see much of the same this year.
P-Rod.
I said this early in the preview to the season. The offensive lines are going to be the factor on how these teams go, and I think Cedar Ridge offensive line is just going to be underperforming this week, which is limiting Deuce Vaughn. I see Vandegrift playing with reckless abandon as they usually do. The Mangazi brothers are going to be out there just head hunting. Ben Bell, I think, is going to be the key to stopping Deuce Vaughn. And Drew Dawson's going to do enough to get the put in the end zone. I think this is going to be low scoring again, but I think this week Vandegrift's going to get 3 touchdowns, so I'm thinking 21-7 final.
And that's something Vandegrift doesn't want to do either. Is if Cedar Ridge can crack the code, Vandegrift does not want to try to store with that offense. That offense has way more firepower than Vandegrift does. So Vandegrift wants to keep it open, like Paul said. Or keep it low scoring. So
Vandegrift finally gives up some points this week.
I think they do, but it's late.
Okay.
But I think they do as well. But if they don't, man, they're coming into this district season hot.
All right, Westwood and Hendrickson. Hendrickson coming off the shellacking against Smithson Valley, 45-15 loss, and Westwood with the big 41-39 win over Austin High last week. I'm not sure what to expect from this game. Obviously Hendrickson has given up some points, so RJ Martinez and that crew and Jalen DeBerry, the new star for the Westwood Warriors, junior receiver. I mean, he's got Nate Anderson back there too, running the ball. They obviously can score some points. Can Hendrickson stop Westwood? Can Westwood stop Hendrickson? I think all of a sudden this game is pretty interesting on Friday night.
I think the hangover that Hendrickson had from that loss against Smithson Valley plays a huge factor. And if Westwood can get up early, and if they can get up by 10, 14 points on Hendrickson, I think Hendrickson may just pack it up due to some of the things that we've discussed last week on Saturday, how that locker room may be a little bit divided. I think that plays into Westwood's hands, and I think they could capitalize it if they score and they score early and stay disciplined.
And coming into the season, you would look at this matchup and think it's totally one way.
Totally Hendrickson, right?
But now, yeah. Just athletically, like the guys they put at the next level, all of that. But I just don't think that's the case, man. This is going to be the year that Westwood really competes in this district, I think. And I'm an alum of Hendrickson, but this is tough to see the way they're like the kind of lack of competition, the lack of organization, the lack of discipline that Hendrickson has this year. So I would like to see Westwood win this game and kind of kick Hendrickson into gear, saying like, hey, look, we're not just going to win these games because we're sending guys to these D1 schools.
Right. Yeah. So I think this.
Are you going to go
to this game?
Yeah.
It's probably at the field, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd probably want to check that one out. I don't know. I've been to every Westwood game so far now, though, so I don't know.
Hey, they're playing well this year.
They are an exciting team to watch.
You can say how many Hendrickson games are you going to go to this year? You could look at it like that.
That's true. Leander, Stony Point. Leander 0-2, Stony Point 2-0. Stony Point almost getting back to their winning ways. Leander pretty much has Xavier Dotson on the offensive side of the ball. I think Leander, I talked about Rouse earlier. I think Leander's a really good 0-2 team as well. I fully expect Stony Point to win that game, though. I don't think anybody has any differing opinions on that one. Hutto sitting at 2-0, my eventual 5A state champions, hosting El Paso del Valle. Conley and Bastrop is all of a sudden a big game. I said last week that Conley's going to get their first win against an undefeated Bastrop. And I totally expect that. P-Rod.
Yeah, I concur with you, Chris. And this is actually the game I'm going to be going to out at Bastrop Memorial Stadium. Connolly, I think that they have enough athletes and enough D1 talent. Bastrop had a very tight win in week 1 against Rudder and then dominated over Eastview, or not Eastview, but formerly Reagan. What do we call them? Northeast. I'm sorry, Northeast. Formerly Reagan. Dominating win over them, but I think Connolly this week gets the W. They know Recon's coming out on Friday night.
Oh, nice.
So I expect some big things. Last time we told the team we were going to go watch them, they played out big, and so that was Hayes over Dripping Springs last week.
All right, so Conley Bastrop, Recon athlete's going to be out there. If you see P-Rod on the sideline, say what's up. All right, Aikens Westlake. We kind of know how that game is going to go. Shout out to Coach Garza. McNeil, Vista Ridge. All of a sudden, this game has become interesting because the way McNeil played last week, Vista Ridge sitting at 2-0. That's going to be a pretty good game. I think Vista Ridge has the edge on this one, but the McNeil Mavericks, big game last week. So I think I'm going to keep an eye out on that one in 13-6A.
Yeah, I think this is like a turning point game for both of these teams to kind of like a good litmus test for them when it comes to this district. If Vista Ridge is kind of back to the way they did things at the 5A level, then I think we'll find that out against McNeil. And if McNeil is for real this year, then they should win this game easy.
All right, Bowie Lake Travis. That's going to be Lake Travis, I believe, homecoming this weekend. Bowie Bulldogs 1-1. Man, we're talking about Trinidad Sanders and Lake Travis coming back from that week 1 loss, getting the win over Timberview last week. I like Lake Travis in this game. I don't think that they're going to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. And I think they're going to have that same mindset Westlake had last year when they had an early loss. And they're just going to – they're in district now, so they're kicking off district, and I see them just running the score up as best they can to kind of climb in the polls.
All right, Austin High and Lehman. Austin High coming off that close loss to Westwood we talked about earlier. I think Austin High will win this game. Grayson Davis, probably one of the running backs here in the Austin area that nobody really is talking about a whole lot, but very impressive. I've seen him a couple of weeks in a row. Very impressive runner. Paul?
Shout out to Lehman. It's going to be Lehman's homecoming on Friday, so just kind of give them a heads up. Maybe they can squeak out the win. They had a win week 1, so maybe they can do it again.
Georgetown, South San Antonio. I expect an EFND win on there. Manor, Liberty Hill. I think that's going to be interesting. Manor's 0-2. Liberty coming off that big loss at home against Hutto. Now have the Manor Mustangs coming in town. I see a big win for Liberty Hill.
You are not supposed to lose to schools that are not the same classification.
You're not
Maynard
supposed
needs to win this game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If Princely can have a big game and his teams can rally behind him on that defense, which, I mean, we all know that type of offense that they run at
Liberty Hill has nobody that can stop him.
No, I agree with
That's
you,
true.
but that misdirection offense is something very difficult and challenging to stop, and it's going to take the whole team collectively to get that defense in order to do that. But this could be the turning point for Manor if they can get the W, especially on the road at Liberty Hill. This could totally change their season and potentially get them ready as they get primed up for district play.
Yeah, Coach Mitchell really needs a win. Dripping Springs, New Braunfels Canyon. Fully expect Dripping Springs to put it on Canyon. New Tech versus Crockett. Shout out to New Tech for making the scoreboard here. I think New Tech, Crockett's going to win that game. Glenn versus McCallum. Glenn Grizzlies all of a sudden sitting 0-2 after the wonderful season they had last year. Now all of a sudden it's like, man, what happened to the Glenn Grizzlies? They really need a win here against the McCallum Knights to get 2019 started. Eastview versus Northeast Reagan. I think Eastview's sitting at 2-0, probably go 3-0. Pflugerville and Elgin. All of a sudden, that game seems pretty interesting to me as well because Elgin is sitting at 0-2, but they played against LBJ in week 1. Very, very close game, and they definitely have a lot of talent out in Elgin. Pflugerville still trying to get their feet underneath the Charles Taylor offense. St. Michael's and Weimar, of course. And then we've got some other games just to mention. Regents versus Fort Worth Trinity Valley. San Antonio South Central Catholic versus Seguin. And Geronimo Navarro versus Marble Falls. And, of course, Brenham at Houston Heights. All right, that'll be our slate for this week. Recon Athlete, week number 3 for high school. Zach, you have something to say?
So where y'all going? Just to confirm?
Man,
it's on you. You're the only one that don't know.
Do I really want to go to another Westwood game? I really do. Actually, I'm probably going to go to the McNeil Vista Ridge game. I think that's going to be a good one. So I as much as I want to see Westwood Hendrickson, I'll probably hit up McNeil and Vista Ridge. You'll be at the Vandergrift game, of course, and Paul already said that he's going to be.
I'll be in Bastrop.
In Bastrop at the Bastrop Conley game. We're both picking Conley to win that game. Zach, do you have any other?
I'm picking Conley to win that game.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for asking.
Are you picking Vandergrift to win on Friday?
I don't do predictions.
That's not what I asked you. I said if you asked to win. I do say a prediction.
I'm saying.
Are you going to pick against the team you cover?
I was going to say something, but never mind. I changed my mind.
Okay.
You interrupted me.
So that's a yes.
College football last week. Both the big Texas schools, Texas and Texas A&M, both lost.
First off, I want to apologize for my take on Kellen Mond.
This is twice you're apologizing in a row.
About quarterbacks. You don't have a very good run run with quarterbacks here.
I watch Elite 11. I enjoy that. I enjoy watching Trent Dilfer a lot, so I think I know about quarterbacks. Kellen Mond and Hunter Johnson. I was just wrong. 0 for 2. All I need is 1 to hit 300. All right. So this week, I'm not making any predictions. But if I was right, I'll be hitting 300 and I'll be fine. But I just want to apologize, everyone. Trying to hype up. I think we even got Snoop to pick some A&M dudes on his daily fantasy. That didn't work out. So I just want to apologize.
Well, I mean, so
unless they bounce back, then I don't apologize.
So out of the Longhorns, they lose 48, or was it 48? No,
I turned it off.
No, I forgot the score. It was. How do I not remember the score?
I don't know. You're probably picking deep in there,
bro. Yeah,
you was litty like a titty,
dude. Well, I will say this. That game, it did force me to drink a little bit. Because, you're just like, man, like, golly.
It was tight the majority of the game.
I'm just sitting there, like, just all nervous, and I got a beer in my hand. I'm just sitting there, like.
I'm a big stander-upper on, like,
dude, me too.
Intense games. Yeah.
Me too. So I can't sit.
Final LSU 45, Texas 38.
That's what it was, 45-30. I kept saying, I wanted to say 48-35, but 45-38. I can't believe it. Because it was 6.5.
Yeah.
It was 6.5. So, what up, Snoop?
That game had LSU jump Oklahoma to be number 4 in the AP poll.
And that's all based on the SEC. Why? Do you think they should?
What does Oklahoma show you that LSU hasn't?
I agree with that. I'm just saying.
What does LSU showed me?
LSU collectively has dogs on both sides of the football, and
do they?
Do they not?
Yeah, right.
Do they? I mean, how many yards and how many points did they just give up to the University of Texas?
Texas was number 9.
Well, at least they played the University. At least they played the University of Texas.
I mean,
Ohio State should have jumped Oklahoma too.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, all right. So y'all are coming at it different. So y'all change.
We're coming at it correct.
First of all, you start saying like, oh, okay, well, LSU is really awesome, and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, but they gave up like 800 yards of offense, and then you're saying, oh, because Oklahoma played South Dakota.
Because Oklahoma put up 800 yards against y'all two.
It's the P-Rod Power Index measurement.
So really, I mean, y'all really think LSU thinks it deserves to be that high?
Yes.
Really?
Maybe it sounds weird to say LSU at 4. Going what was it from 6 to 4?
6 to 4, yeah.
6 to 4.
But it sounds crazy. But saying LSU in front of it, like if you say the teams that are behind LSU, it makes sense. Notre Dame hasn't showed anything. They're at 7. Ohio State hasn't played anybody of LSU's of Texas's caliber, but maybe you put them in the same kind of area. Oklahoma hasn't played anybody, and they're sitting at 5. They're who got jumped, and if you have no way to legitimize not jumping OU.
And to be fair to Texas, they lost to the number 4 team in the nation. They only dropped 3 spots, so that's how good Texas is, and that's just how much better LSU was. Remember, P-Rod Power Index.
Man, I guess, dude. I don't know. Snoop, you got an opinion on any of this?
I already told Paul my opinion on LSU and Texas.
And I almost said it too, but I had to wait. I almost said it.
What was it?
Go, Snoop.
You can't say it?
No,
Go, Snoop.
I ain't gonna have that on tape.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just the realness factor. No, I said football is a fight.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick a group of dudes to have my back, I think the guys that go to Texas are going there to get laid, party.
Yeah.
You go to LSU to play football.
That's always been a. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Snoop.
Snoop said he would take the Qs over the Kappa Sigs.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Bet.
And that's how
All right, maybe I'm just Longhorn fan. Just kind of bitter about the game. So now that I'm being a little bit self-aware, kind of stepping back. Yeah, boo-hooing over here. Yeah. Maybe I'm kind of stepping back and looking at it and saying, you know what? Okay, guys, you're right. Yeah, Oklahoma hadn't played nobody. Ohio State hadn't played nobody.
But Notre
Dame hadn't played nobody.
Not on the top 25,
right.
though. We have
You're
the AP top 25 in front of us. Not on the top 25 is the Fighting Mac Browns of North Carolina, which I think is ridiculous.
Why?
The wins beat South Carolina.
That's good.
Beat Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. No, you're right. I mean, those are Power 5 schools.
But USC gets to sit at 24.
I'm glad you're bringing that up.
USC gets to sit at 24 after a win over Stanford with their backup quarterback.
Ratings, bro.
Stanford is always rated way too high. Anyways,
they went up like 14 spots.
TV ratings, bro.
USC did 14 spots in the AP ranking to put them in the top.
North
25.
Carolina would beat USC right now.
I back you up on that.
Really?
I'd back you up on that.
The freshman quarterback they have at North Carolina, because I watch Elite 11, so I know quarterbacks.
Okay.
They have Hal
Lucero, you 0-2, bro. Just saying. I was going to give you an insight to the Auburn quarterback, but I'm going to let you ride out.
I'm not on the train with the Auburn quarterback. But Hal, Mac Brown flipped him to North Carolina to get him to stay home and play for North Carolina and to win games, and that's exactly what he's doing. How often do you see these new coaches fulfill the promises they're telling these recruits when they're trying to flip them? And that's what they're doing. They deserve to be a top 25 ranked team. They deserve to be talked about as one of the better teams because of the transformation and the amount of betterment they've done from last season to this season. It's ridiculous that Mac Brown's on here.
And to be fair to Zach's point, the Fighting Mac Browns did beat South Carolina on the road, and they did beat a Miami team who took the number 18 Florida to the distance in week 1. So just saying.
Took them to the distance, as Paul said.
All right, so Texas A&M goes down to number 16.
Get them off.
They dropped 4 spots. I thought it was a pretty impressive game against Clemson. I mean, Clemson.
You can't hear
I hear it now. The invisible P. Of course, we talked about Kellen Mond not being able to get that offense going, but I thought the defense did pretty well. I mean, they shut them out in the first and fourth quarters, gave up 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Clemson didn't play well
3
either.
touchdowns, but
Clemson didn't play well either, and they still got blowed out. Like, it's not.
But what happened was the game had to be won by Trevor Lawrence, and that's what happened. He didn't have gaudy numbers. He had a 268 with 1 TD and 1 pick, but his feet is what won him the game because ETN only had how many touchdowns? 1.
Yeah.
So the thing about it was it was coming down to quarterback play, and that's what we talked about. I didn't expect Lawrence to have a tremendous game, but he had enough to get it done, and he put 1 in the air and he put 1 on the ground, just so that's 2 TDs.
So I was thinking that's what I was saying. I mean, I think the job that the Aggies did on Etienne was really good. Now
that's what I said was going to happen.
All I'm saying though is if A&M had Hunter Johnson at quarterback, they would be something serious.
I haven't been convinced by Kellen Mond. I really haven't been. Watching him over the past couple seasons. So I'm
nothing
A&M.
Nothing against Kellen Mond, but he's a San Antonio kid who got lucky and went to IMG Academy in Florida and got a lot of exposure because of IMG Academy. Mm-hmm. Got caught up by Kevin Sumlin. He didn't even get recruited by Dabo. So I just want to see a Dabo QB who can come in.
Jimbo.
I'm sorry, by Jimbo, who can come in and play the game the way he expects it to be done. Kellen Mond probably going to be a great backup quarterback.
Should have stayed at Reagan and gone to UIW.
He probably would have went to UTSA, Zach.
All right, real quick, let's go over this weekend's
top 25 matchups.
Schedule. No top 25 matchups. Wow.
Last weekend spoiled us for sure. We never get those kind of games early like we did. So I mean, this is what you expect in non-conference games.
Yeah, everybody beat each other up last week.
But shout out to the new, is it Boise? The new Boise State.
Boise State.
That's going to be the UCF Knights out of Central Florida, coming in at 17th, 2-0. They're going to make a run to try to push and challenge that college playoff, maybe see if they can open up a spot. I know personally, I don't think it's going to happen for like 10 years to them expand it. But shout out to the UCF Knights.
Looking at the sheet right now, I'm talking about alert, easy money. Maryland 7 points over Temple. Maryland is going to cover that 100 times over.
I like the way you think after they played last week.
100 points. Give them 100 points.
This fool said alert.
I can't reach the buttons. I can't reach the alert button.
He's like,
so you really like Maryland, huh?
Maryland is unreal this year. Maryland's gonna make noise in the Big Ten. If Maryland play, I don't have the full schedule in front of me. If Maryland plays Michigan this year, that's a problem game for Michigan.
They the Fighting Turtles.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're the turtle.
you're the turtle.
That's what I say when I got a poop kind of bad.
Texas
When it
A&M.
comes to turtling out.
Texas A&M taking on Lamar. Lamar Cardinals out of Beaumont area.
Lamar?
Southland
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. Southland Strong, that's right.
Yep. Aggies just going to beat up on them. Texas going down to Houston, as they say in New York City, Houston Street.
Is that right? Is that serious?
Yeah, they say Houston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what Siri says on my phone. But the Justin Fields Heisman train continues against Indiana. That dude's putting up unreal numbers. That dude is Trevor Lawrence of last year.
What game are you talking
We've
about?
heard that before.
Ohio State, Indiana.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Top
My
right
bad.
of your
Top right,
exhibit.
I need to watch some more college football. I watch so much high school and NFL. I see that's the thing. Like, got my eye on the high school games, of course. Recon athlete, and
Right.
then I've got the fantasy football going with the NFL. I kind of glance over a lot of the college football games. There's not many this weekend to really get excited about. Although one to get excited about, I see here, rivalry game, Iowa State.
Yep.
The Fighting White Guys. Iowa Hawkeyes 2-0. Iowa State Cyclones. They've only played one game. I guess that's right. It looks like Iowa is a 2-point favorite at Iowa State, and that's pretty much a that's pretty much a toss up there. I'm going to take the Hawkeyes to cover there.
That's always a fun game to watch. It's always way more exciting than you expect it to be. Like you look at this game and you think it's going to be boring, low scoring, but you see these whenever they finally play each other. Iowa State has a good offense. They have a good quarterback in Brock Purdy. If he can get going, and then Iowa always randomly puts up a lot of points in this game, it'll be a fun game to watch. I would say we'll cover that 2 points easy. I say.
All right. Really?
Yeah. Oh, that.
So you like Iowa State beating Iowa?
Somebody's going to win by that game by more than 2 points.
Okay. Paul, any Iowa State Iowa take?
No, I don't. My thing that I think is going to be an upset is that Arizona State and Michigan State game. They're both coming in 2-0. I just think that you got an NFL caliber quarterback leading Arizona in the second year. I just think I like Arizona in this game, and if they're going to give me 14 points with Arizona, I would take that, but I think they'll win straight up.
My final two takes before I go eat my Panda Express. Syracuse never deserves to be ranked in college football ever again. That was a joke. They're Clemson is favored by 28 points over Syracuse. This is a team that was coming into the season ranked. Everyone want to talk about their quarterback. No, get out of here. Go play basketball. Carmelo Anthony can't get a job, and you can't get a win.
Who put him on notice?
And UCLA, I'm not doing my takes here, ball.
All right.
UCLA, Chip Kelly, go be a coordinator somewhere. Go coordinate UIW's offense. You are a trash head coach. You're not going to go to the NFL to be a coach. You're going to go be a replay official or something like that for the Colts. You're not a good coach. Get out of here.
Who put Cuse on notice?
Did you call that last week?
No, I didn't. I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Trying to feed into your Terps, fighting turtles.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like they do. Maryland is not a team. If you're a ranked team, if you have a quarterback that's supposed to be the next best thing, you're not gonna get blowed out by Maryland, and you did. So Syracuse, you're only a basketball school.
ReconAthlete.com. We're going to be starting to live stream this thing pretty soon. Maybe stream live and live stream. Maybe even Saturday. We'll see. But Paul, do your thing.
Everybody, thank y'all so much. If y'all are digging the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, turn on the notifications. Check us up on Instagram at Recon Athlete.